I don't care what they tell you. If you want to grow like the 1%, you got to work like the 1%. You got to work harder than the vast majority of people if you want to grow faster than the rest. Last year, when I was first bringing up my Trap Theory 101 page, I initially wasn't getting the growth that I wanted. I wasn't seeing the big gains that I thought I could get on Instagram. And so what I did is I stopped and looked for a second. I said, how much are my competition? How much are they posting in this niche? And the answer was typically between about 4 and 6 times a day. And so what I did is I said, I'm gonna outwork my competition for as long as I can, and I'm gonna see if I outgrow these guys. And that's exactly what happened. I started posting probably 7, 8 times a day average. There were days I would post 14, 15 times in a day. And by outworking my competition, I outgrew my competition. My page went crazy when I was consistently for months straight, just outworking everybody. You know, a lot of times we're conditioned to think maybe the strategy is more important than the work side. If we work smarter, we won't have to work as hard. And while that's true of a lot of things in life, what I found with social media is it's not an either or, it's actually an and. You need to work smart, but you also need to work hard. There's no substitute for hard work. The more that you post, the more you're gonna be rewarded. Now, point number 2, diversification is key. Whether you're talking about posting on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever it is that's your main focus, that shouldn't be your only focus. You've got too many competitors out there that want your content for you to just post it on one platform. Think about every time you post content as an at-bat, right? You have an opportunity to hit a home run. You can repurpose that one piece of content that, let's say, you made for Instagram Reels, put it on TikTok, and put it on YouTube Shorts. I mean, if you really want to get technical with it, you could also throw it on LinkedIn, Twitter. You can do a lot of things with that one piece of content so that you're at bat 5 times instead of just once for basically the same amount of work. And point 3, looking at your strategy from platform to platform, what you want to do is you want to keep an eye out for the new features and the new changes that platforms are rolling out and try to leverage or try to use those new features, because oftentimes those new features are going to give you the biggest kind of growth opportunities if you're an early adopter. I'll give you an example. With Instagram Reels, when they first rolled out, if you were one of the first ones really taking advantage of that, you probably got millions of views. I know on Trap Theory 101, I got over 300 million views on my Reels, just going as hard as I could on Reels when they were first a new thing. Now they've kind of changed the game and devalued Reels for theme pages like mine, but back in the day, man, over 300 million views, which allowed me to sell promo, to make money. It was a whole thing, right? So what you want to do is you want to keep an eye out for those changes in the platform, and when you find something that works, go as hard as you can for as long as you can to take full advantage of that change. Now, the next point that I discovered has to do with you and the content that you post. Are you posting content that you actually care about and that you're actually interested in? Or are you just posting content to kind of chase clicks and views? Because people I've noticed that actually care about what they post about tend to do better over time than people that don't. It's really easy to burn out when you're posting stuff you just don't care about because you're trying to appease an algorithm, you're trying to get clicks and views. If you're truly passionate about what you cover, in my experience, you'll do better over time. And right along with that, one thing that I try to frequently consider is what value does my audience want and how can I deliver that value from a unique perspective? With my YouTube channel, I obviously talk a lot about Instagram growth hacks. Now, if you look at a lot of competitors in my space, a lot of them are sitting inside of dimly lit rooms talking about this stuff. One way that I can set myself apart is I can hop out in some of the most beautiful country on this earth, give you guys different visuals. So right off the bat, I've given you guys different value when you come to my videos. On top of that, a lot of these guys are talking from the top of the mountain. They already got a page with millions of followers and they're trying to reach down and help you, right? I'm looking at it and saying, hey, things might have changed a little bit from when they came up. I'm still trying to make my way up the mountain right now. If you guys want to make your way up this mountain with me, I'm doing it in real time and I'm sharing in real time what works for me with you guys. There's a little bit of a difference in perspective there between where they're at, where I'm at, and what value I'm able to offer, what value they're able to offer. But again, it makes me a little bit different, which makes me stand out from the competition. So I think it's important to think, how can I stand out from my competition visually, mentally? What different value am I able to offer based on where I'm at? Okay, that's great. I can make content with my own spin from my own angle. How do I know what kind of content to make that people will care about and that will make people follow me? And here's what I have to say. This is one of the biggest things I realized. Competitor research and market research are two of the biggest tools you have in discovering what content is going to work for you and what people are going to want to see. DJ Academics is a page in the hip hop news niche similar to my page, but he posts a ton each day. He'll put out every single little news story. He'll put out like 40 posts in a day, but he does a bad job of maybe manicuring or making his posts look pretty so that they'll go further in the algorithm. So I might hop onto his page in a day and say, okay, what are the top 10 news stories out of the 40 that he put out today? Okay, now there's only 6 of these I care about, so I'm gonna take these top ones that are performing well and the ones that I care about, and I'm gonna bring them over to my page, make them look good so they'll go further in the algorithm. And now I've used him as a way to vet which stories people actually care about before I've posted anything. Similarly with YouTube, right? The other day I was looking for content ideas. I'm like, what do people want to know about Instagram growth on YouTube, right? In my kind of YouTube niche. And I typed in Instagram growth, and a lot of the videos had to do with the algorithm, all of the top videos. So I went, okay, people are more curious about the algorithm on Instagram than anything else right now. So I started making more content about the Instagram algorithm lately, and my videos have been doing better. So do you see how you can use search engines or you can use competitors as a way to kind of vet which content people want? And then you can kind of give it to them so that your page goes further. And the last point that really helped me was to recognize that I'm trying to build a community, which, by the way, if you guys have gotten any value from this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe. It really does help me out. I've got content like this all the time. But when I started recognizing that I was trying to build a real community of real people, that actually helped me out a lot. I stopped trying to look at my follower number as an arbitrary number that goes up when the algorithm helps me, and started trying to look at it as real people kind of behind that number. And so that kind of tweaks a lot of my strategies in the way that I try to get in front of people. Is I constantly try to extend an olive branch to maybe people that are interested in my type of content. What I mean by that, the follow for follow method is one of the things that I did that helped me grow my page in the beginning a lot. People will say that it's dead. It worked for me. That's what I can speak on. I would basically go and find pages that were super similar to mine, that were smaller pages, and I would follow the people that were engaging with their posts, because if they had an interest in a topic similar to mine, maybe they'd see the notification that I followed them, they'd check out my page, and maybe they'd like it, right? So the follow for follow method is one thing I would do. Shout out for shout out is also a good way, to get in front of the right people that you're trying to build your community with. Another thing is just commenting funny stuff on pages similar to yours, right? Being one of the first ones to drop a good comment on a page similar to yours is going to get people from their audience to check out your page. So you kind of start tweaking these strategies, DMing people that are active with you, trying to build deeper relationships with your existing followers so that maybe they'll go and share your content with some of their friends. When you kind of recognize that these are real people behind the number, it kind of affects the way that you maybe go about building your community, and you actually start having more human relations, which is going to help you more. And one thing that goes right along with that, but feels kind of counterintuitive because people never talk about it when they talk about growing an Instagram, is removing ghost followers. It's also important, I found, to remove the dead weight followers that are not aligned with your brand and don't engage with any of your content. Maybe they're bots, maybe they're not interested in what you post. It's important to remove those guys so that you can boost your engagement and help the algorithm to give you a bigger push in the future. I don't have enough time to explain that. If you guys want to learn how to do that, click this video on the side. It'll show you exactly how I remove my ghost followers. But my name is Mitchell. God bless you guys, and have a good one, man.